In today's video, we're going to be discussing the best place to find Pokemon cards out in the wild. I'll be specifically talking about local TCG shops, high street retailers, other shops and more. And if you don't know me, my name is Ben and this is Aimless, where we focus on pretty much anything Pokemon. And that could be thinking about cards to buy, tips for investing, or just having fun opening packs. And if you're interested in this content, please like and subscribe to the channel. So one of the best known shops to buy Pokemon cards is Smyths toy store. It's a fairly reliable place to get cards. They tend to be quite consistent and get good levels of stock when new product releases. Most recently they've been getting a lot of Prismatic Evolution ETBs. And let's be honest, whenever Prismatic comes into the shops, people really want them. Although they don't have it all of the time, so don't just walk into absolutely any Smyths toy store and just expect product to be lining the walls constantly. That's just not going to happen. Like everywhere though, when Smyths toy store gets product, it does tend to sell out pretty fast because people really are on the hunt for Pokemon cards at the minute. Just if people hear about it, it's like vultures to meat. When I've been in recently, they do tend to have a lot of Paradox Rift, Temporal Forces, and quite a lot of Destined Rivals actually. You'd be surprised at how much Destined Rivals Smyths actually has. And the last time I went to Smyths toy store, we waited in queue for about 10 to 15 minutes. And we're about the 24th and 25th people in the queue waiting for Prismatic Evolution booster bundles, and we managed to get one each, so it wasn't really too big of a problem. The good thing about Smyths is that they put a limit on how many products that you can buy, so if they've got a load of ETBs or booster bundles, they tend to only sell one per person. This stops one person getting into the queue really early in the morning, maybe 4 or 5 before Smyths even's open, which is normally about 9 o'clock, and people will do this. They'll get there first, really early, get first in the queue, and if they can, they will buy every single piece of product in that shop if they can. But thankfully, Smyths stops that, so everyone who goes, if you just wait in line, most of the time you will get it unless you're like 100th in the line, because they can only sell as much product as they have. And a lot of the people who might be trying to buy all the product are just going to buy it and then sell it on for 2 or 3 times the price anyway. So it's really good that Smyths stops that from happening. And everyone's seen these videos, it was happening everywhere for quite a while, so it was getting really annoying. And a lot of the times I've been at Smyths, they haven't always shown that the stock is available online, so sometimes it is just pot luck that you have to just go into the shop to see if it's there. So it's worth a try whether you know it's there or not. Unless you know that new product is releasing and they've announced that it's releasing, get there for that day as quickly as you can. One thing Smyths is really good at the minute is pre-orders. So if you're wanting to pre-order an ETB or a booster bundle or a booster box, you have to go actually to the store physically rather than pre-ordering it online. And I quite like this idea because it stops bots buying up all of the product online, because bots can't physically go into the store and put a deposit down and try and order this product that isn't even out yet. It might be out in 2-3 weeks, 2 or 3 months even, depending on when the pre-release is available. I really like this because it gives everyone a chance to buy it as well, and everyone a chance to put a pre-order in. And I really like being able to get one over on the bots, which stops people being able to resell it, because that's all bots are for. They're just wanting to resell the product. And I'm pretty sure this happened recently for Phantasmal Flames. Something happened where maybe 40,000 product was bought up by bots before Phantasmal Flames was even out on the Pokemon Center. Don't quote me on that, that's just what I heard. I'm pretty sure that happened though, so we'll find out. But I think that might be why that product release was put back a little bit. If you know any more about that than me, please drop a comment and we'll get a discussion going about that. One thing that can be annoying about Smyths though is that when they do release product or a new set releases, it's normally on a weekday rather than a weekend. And unfortunately for a lot of us, people are at work on a weekday, which can be quite annoying, because a lot of the people that maybe are self-employed or have jobs where they can get out of work to get there in the morning, it makes it much easier for them. And for people that, I don't know, depending on what job you're doing, you just can't get out of it sometimes. But it is always worth, at the end of the day, going over there to have a look, just in case there is product there. And there has been times when I've seen that this product is still being bought at 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the evening. So it's worth it. Just have a look after work, go in, get your product, and there you go. You'll be much happier for it if that's what you're after. The next shops to look at are supermarkets such as Sainsbury's, and Sainsbury's, when I've been in, mostly have an Argos inside. I think pretty much every Sainsbury's that I know of has an Argos inside. So Argos is definitely a place that sells Pokemon cards, and sometimes Sainsbury's in the toy section, or the toy aisle, does have stuff as well. Not as much as some other shops though, but definitely check the Argos out in Sainsbury's. Thankfully for me, I do have a Sainsbury's and Argos that isn't too far away, and the Argos does tend to have new product for a new set. Although I'm pretty sure for Destined Rivals, when I went in the morning for that set, there was just absolutely nothing there, which was quite annoying because I could have went to Smyths instead. So by the time I got there, I'm pretty sure Smyths had already sold out, so it was a little bit pointless. I think I did get some triple blister packs online a little bit later that day though, so not too bad. Although I did manage to get some Black Bolt and White Flare mini tins after work one day from that same Argos, so it has come in handy for me sometimes, but it can be a little bit hit and miss. So when you go into Argos, have a look at the screens that are there, just scroll through, type in Pokemon cards, and it'll generally show you pretty much everything that is available in the shop. Although 90% of the time when I do go into the Argos, it just says out of stock. It'll show you everything, which is quite annoying, but everything will just say out of stock. So again, you might have better luck at this. Me personally, I've not had too much luck when I've gone into Argos, apart from getting the Black Ball and White Flare mini tins. So again, Sainsbury's is meant to have product in there when you go in. For me though, it has pretty much never had anything apart from a couple of build and battle decks, starter decks maybe. Nothing too major or too special. They might have a couple of times had the Pokeballs, and I quite like the Pokeballs though because you get 3 packs inside, although the only thing I don't like about the Pokeballs is the way they're packaged, because you know it's in a ball like that, and when you open it the pack's inside and it's not really the right shape to store packs in personally for me, and they always seem like they're a bit crunched up, which isn't great. And with the Pokeballs, I don't always really know what packs are going to be inside. I know they have the code on the bottom, and I think some people definitely know that that indicates what packs are going to be in there, but I'm not sure whether it's always a perfect system. The next shops we're going to be talking about are Asda and Tesco's, and for me, I've done quite well at Asda. The last time I got some Pokemon product at Asda, it was actually Silver Tempest triple blisters for quite a good price. I'm pretty sure they were retail price as well. So I haven't really managed to get my hand on loads of Silver Tempest or Sword and Shield, especially not recently. And it wasn't even that long ago when I managed to get some Silver Tempest. It was just randomly there. I think there was some other triple blisters for some other more modern sets, probably Temporal Forces or Paradox Rift, which again I actually like. Just I saw the Silver Tempest there and thought, yeah, that's the one to get today. And out of Silver Tempest, I really do want that Lugia. Just if you want it without having to buy it, you have to keep opening the packs. And again, for that, consistency is key, but it's not going to be really worth the money depending on how many packs I have to open. So on a recent video I talked about Pokemon investment mistakes to make, and opening packs if you're trying to invest is definitely not the way to go. So I'd check that video out on my channel. Obviously Asda is a really large shop and the main focus isn't particularly Pokemon because it's a big supermarket. They sell clothes as well, sell loads of different things. So the people that work there might not necessarily know loads about Pokemon cards, but if they don't have any on the shelf, it's always worth going to the customer service desk or just asking someone who's in the aisles. You never know, they might be a big collector. And Tesco's is the other big supermarket to check out, but I don't really have too much to talk about that one because it's pretty much the same as Asda and Sainsbury's. So I'll just leave it there for that one. And the next shop to check out is Game. And I'll be honest, only in the last few months have I actually figured out that Game is a shop that sells Pokemon cards. This is a shop that I used to go to religiously when I was a kid. You know, they used to have all of the video games. They used to sometimes have a PlayStation or an Xbox set up, and you could go in and you could just play those games. And whenever I went shopping with like my mum or my parents, that would be the place that I always wanted to go because you could spend a load of time in there, and that was only the only real place where you could buy new games at that time when I was younger, especially when in the PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 eras also. I think the best game I played on there was if you remember the old King Kong film that had Jack Black in, I think there was a game based on that, and I remember you played as King Kong in it. You know that scene where they're fighting the T-Rexes? That was a really cool scene. It was really cool in the game, although it looked really realistic back then, but I'm pretty sure now if I played it again it probably wouldn't actually be that good. But with the rise of the digital gaming industry, gamers kind of had to innovate and find different ways to stay afloat, because not many people are buying physical games anymore, although I think they might actually become a collector's item in the future. So if that's something you're into, maybe worth a look. So one way they're trying to get around this is to buy actual physical games, not physical video games, just physical games, sometimes Legos, and quite a lot of TCG as well, not just Pokemon. I see One Piece and Magic also as well, and probably some other TCGs too. They always seem to have loose booster packs in there, but not too much of anything else. Pretty much every single time I have went in there, though, they have the Charizard Super Premium Collection. You know, that really like boxy square Charizard box with the Charizard figure that can hold a card inside, which does look cool, but because it's so big, it's not really something I'm after, especially when it's about £70. So the game near me is actually tucked away at the back of a Sports Direct, and I didn't actually know that they were owned by, I think it's the Fraser Group. So they tend to sell Pokemon cards there. So if you didn't know that game was in the back of a Sports Direct, it's probably somewhere to go check out, because, you know, Sports Direct can sometimes be a handy little place to pick stuff up. And if people don't actually know that it's a common place that sells Pokemon cards, that might be one of your best places to check if Pokemon cards are actually there, because other people won't be there, and they should have some product. They definitely do get it on new releases, as far as I know, because most people's first thoughts will be going to their LGSs or their Smyths toy store. And speaking of LGSs, your local game store is definitely somewhere you should check out. If you don't know where your local game store is, just have a Google and see whereabouts it is. There should be plenty around. My LGS pretty much always has the new set. It's been a while since I went. I think the last time I went was for the Destined Rivals release. To be honest, my LGS is not too close to me, but it is definitely somewhere I still want to check out for most of the releases. And if you do get quite in with your LGS and they get to know you, they know your face, sometimes they might put some product aside for you if they know that you're somewhere that is consistently going to be buying from them, because they want the repeat custom, because that's the best thing for them. And in mine, they pretty much always have loose packs. If you're just looking for 1 or 2 packs to open to see and try your luck, it's definitely something worth it to try. And they also have mystery slabs. I bought this once, I think it was about £30, and I got a slab, it was about worth maybe £35, which is alright. It was the Eevee from VMAX Climax, the Japanese one. And I'm pretty sure my LGS didn't have too many raw cards. It had a couple of graded cards, but hopefully the one near you has a lot of raw cards that you can buy. And mine is not super big, and they have a lot of Warhammer and Magic, so Pokemon isn't really their main focus. I'm not sure whether they're going to be expanding, but you know, there are a lot of people that do still go in for Pokemon. And they will have a lot of repeat customs, so it's just somewhere to check out and just keep consistently going. And I find that they're always really happy for new customers, because they are just local businesses run by local people. So sometimes if you're looking for Pokemon product, they're the best places to support, rather than the big chains such as Smyths, Asda, you know, the supermarket chains. But here's another shop to check out, and funnily enough, it's actually Waterstones, and this again isn't somewhere that I particularly think about when I'm looking to buy Pokemon cards. So again, even though their main focus isn't Pokemon, they sell a lot of books, which will be their main focus. It's somewhere to check out because, like me, it's probably not people's first thought to go to if a new set or a new product releases. When I've been in, they don't seem to have loads of product. It's just behind the till, a couple of boxes here and there. I don't know how much they get of the new release, if they do get any at all. That might be something that I'll have to check out on release day one day, but I'll probably end up going to a different shop anyway. Most of the product that I see when I've been in there has been promo collection boxes, which are decent. It just depends on which ones that you want and which kind of promos that you want. And some might be of sets that you don't particularly want, or the promo isn't that good. And I don't particularly always like that kind of product, because you might get 4 or 6 packs in there. You don't always know what packs are in there, because there's loads of different types of promo boxes to get. It might just be a full art card that is the promo, or you know, the EX cards that you get these days. So unless you really know what's in there and if it's promo card that you really want, it's also risky, because the way the promo card is generally packaged these days, getting it out can damage it. So if you're wanting to get that promo card to grade it, it might not be in the best condition after you get it out of the packaging. Although if it is the best condition when you get it out of the packaging, because of that, higher grades are generally rarer to get with promo cards, because they're harder to get out of the packaging. So sometimes it is worth doing that to grade it, to get that small chance that you do get a higher grade card, and then it's worth generally a lot more than the raw price because of that small chance to get a higher grade. Apparently Card Factory has Pokemon cards. There is a Card Factory near me. I've never been able to find Pokemon cards there, so it's not really too much that I'm able to comment on about it because I've only heard that they sell Pokemon cards, never actually seen it out in the wild myself. So if this is something you're interested in, make sure to check that out, and please let me know if you have found Pokemon cards at a Card Factory, because up north where I am, I'm pretty sure none of them sell Pokemon cards. But you know, on the rumour mill, it's what I've heard, so please let me know. WHSmith though is definitely one to check because I definitely have seen Pokemon cards at this shop. They usually have Pokemon product behind the counter, which is behind some glass, which keeps it extra safe. So it's definitely worth going. I don't know about their policy on whether they let people buy it all in one go. Hopefully they don't do that, but I'm not too sure on that. But it's definitely worth a shot. They definitely normally always have something on release day for a new product or a new set. So if there are a couple of these shops near you, just go around and check them out. These shops are my favourite shops to try out. The smaller shops, you know, the Morrison's Daily, the corner shops, your Premier stores, these are always where I generally tend to find stuff. And I know for a fact that these are definitely not shops that people tend to think about, especially on release day when new product releases. You might go in and you might see it, but you never really think, oh, this is definitely the place to go. Because I know these shops aren't really places that focus on Pokemon cards either. But these are where I have had the most luck on release day. And you know, they're normally just your regular shops, your corner shops where you go buy some bread, milk or cheese. A lot of them seem to have full booster boxes or half booster boxes in when I go. Sometimes they might have sealed ones, or other times they might have them open on the counter or behind the counter. You might have to ask, and you can get a couple of packs out of there. But if you're really lucky and they might know you, they might sell you an actual sealed box. But if you know that they sell it, it's always worth asking. They might actually give you a sealed box. I know some places they definitely had it, they didn't really know what it was, so they managed to sell me a sealed half booster box, which was quite nice. Especially, I think this was for the Destin Rivals release. One thing to note with these shops is that because they generally only get booster boxes or half booster boxes, the special sets such as Prismatic and Black Bolt and White Flare, which came out recently, they don't seem to have any of that product in because, you know, special sets don't tend to have booster boxes. So if you're looking for the special sets when they release on release day and you don't really know whether that shop's going to have any in, it probably won't for those sets. In the shops like Morrison's Dailies, you know, the smaller version of your larger supermarket shops, I can't remember what all of them are, is it Tesco Extra and other shops like that, definitely worth a shot to go in there and see if they've got any product. Always worth asking behind the counter because a lot of the times they don't always put the product out, it's just underneath the counter, only really gets brought out if someone asks for it. Morrison's Daily I do find a bit odd, like why do you not sell it at the big shop? Though they definitely don't sell it at the big shops near me, and I've got two big Morrisons either side of me. They definitely don't sell it there, but the Morrison's Daily they do, so it's just an odd one for me. And lastly, the last shops I think you should check out, and I definitely think are worth mentioning, are Aldi and Lidl. You wouldn't really think about it, but those middle aisles, Lidl I've definitely found some in the middle aisle. Aldi it doesn't tend to be in the middle aisle, it tends to be near the tills and checkouts, all in boxes. A lot recently has been the Paldea Evolved, Obsidian Flames, Paradox Rift, and was there one more? I'm not too sure, but it's just a load of triple blister packs most of the time. I haven't seen any more in Aldi other than triple blister packs, but they have a lot of product there, and the last time the Aldi near me, it didn't sell out for like a week, and I didn't really want to buy it all because that's not really the right thing to do. I bought some, but there's far too much there for me to buy it all anyway. Or maybe I just don't live in an area that's full of scalpers. It's quite nice actually, it's quite nice just being able to go in there and just buy some of what you want rather than feeling like you have to buy as much as you can because other people are just going to take it all away. And to be honest, the last time it did it, or the last time that Aldi had some, wasn't too long ago, and I didn't even hear a sniff of anything that Aldi was going to have some Pokemon cards, because the first time I knew about it, it seemed to be all over, Facebook, Twitter, that Aldi had Pokemon cards and you had to rush there to go and get it, and it did sell out quite quickly back then. But the last time I never heard anything at all. I walked in and we went, oh, some cards there. Oh, I'll get a couple of them then, that sounds quite cool. Opened up some, never seemed to get anything out of triple blister packs, so for me it's not really worth the money anyway. I don't know if anyone else gets some luck out of triple blisters, because I don't particularly like them. My favourite ones to open is actually booster bundles. That's when I seem to get new product, or sorry, not new product, the best chase cards. Anyway, that's going to wrap up today's video on where to buy Pokemon cards out in physical stores. And if you thought this video was helpful, please like this video, subscribe to the channel for more Pokemon investing, more Pokemon opening, and more Pokemon collecting guides. And don't forget to drop a comment. I'd love to hear where you've had the most luck at buying Pokemon cards over your time collecting. And also, please click on one of the videos that are linked here for more Pokemon content.